Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to episode 3 here on our mini drum lesson series. Today, we're going to be looking at the actual drum set, okay? Talking about the parts of each of the drum set, the names of the drums and the cymbals, and actually learning a drum beat. So, in the previous video, we talked about the 8 on a hand pattern and the single stroke roll, okay? And within that, we talked about 3 different note values or subdivisions, 3 different speeds of notes. Quarter notes, which are 1 hit per beat. That's just your regular 1, 2, 3, 4 when your metronome starts. And then we talked about eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 hits per beat. And we talked about 16th notes, which are 4 hits per beat. 1 E enda, 2 E enda, 3 E enda, 4 E enda. And the pattern we played was really simple, went like this. It was like 1, 2, 3, 4. We're using our full strokes on that, just throwing the stick down and letting it bounce back up to us, okay? So that's just a quick little recap to get you kind of caught up with where we're at today. So I'm going to turn this over here towards the drum set and talk about the parts of the drum set. So you need to know the names of everything. That's pretty important. So first off, we have the kick drum, which is right here. This is the biggest drum on your drum set. You're going to hit it with your foot, okay, with the kick pedal. Let's see if I can get a shot of that down here. Maybe. You see the kick pedal? Yeah. Okay, that is the kick drum. Okay, and then the next drum that's very important is your snare drum. Okay, and that is this one right in front of you. Okay, snare drum, super important. This is the only drum that has wires that run underneath it. Okay, so every snare has what's called a throw-off, which is a lever somewhere on the drum. Mine is right here on the side. Sort of see just a little lever pull up and down right here. Okay. And the snare with the snare wires disengaged, so the lever off sounds like this. And then when you engage the snare wires, you get that kind of characteristic rattle. All right, so that is the snare drum. Now the other 2 drums, on a regular 4-piece drum kit, which is what we call it, counting the number of drums, you're just going to have 2 toms. These are the other drums. So you'll have the one, usually the bigger ones are called floor toms. Okay, and the floor toms are usually called that because I don't know if you can sort of see it, but they have legs that mount them on the floor, so they stand literally on their own on these legs, so they're touching the floor. Okay, so floor tom. This is a 16-inch floor tom. It's a pretty typical size, and then here this is a rack tom. Okay. And rack toms usually are mounted on some sort of stand. This one is on a snare stand, actually, but they can be mounted with more of like a suspension system that kind of goes around the lugs of the drums and attaches it to a cymbal stand. That's very common as well. So kick or bass drum, snare drum, floor tom, rack tom. Okay? And then with the cymbals, this is really important. So the cymbals, I'm going to put this a little further away, right? Oh, this is perfect. It's much better. So these cymbals right here, these 2 cymbals together, these are called the hi-hat, okay? And this is a really important part of your drum set because it's very expressive, okay? It's connected to this stand, okay? There's a pedal down here that you can control how tightly the cymbals are pressed together, okay? So if you press them down very tight, it makes one sound. You can loosen them. okay? That is the hi-hat. So you can control it with your foot, and you can play it with your hand. Typically, you'll play the hi-hat with your dominant hand, okay? That's just usually the way it works. Now, the other cymbals. So I have a kind of minimalistic setup here, but the other cymbal, usually if you're right-handed, the cymbal will be to your right, and it's usually the biggest cymbal on your drum set is called the ride cymbal. I love these cymbals so much. If you guys didn't know this, I play heartbeat percussion cymbals, and these cymbals are all from their jazz series, and they sound amazing. So this is called the ride cymbal, okay? So you have hi-hats and ride cymbal, okay? And then the other cymbals, this is a crash cymbal. Okay, crashes come in all different sizes. This is a pretty big crash as far as crashes go. This is a 22-inch, okay? But crashes can range from 16 inches to 22 inches or 24 inches, just massive. But this crash in particular also works well as a ride. Okay, and then quick terms to know about the cymbals themselves is the flat part of the cymbal. This top part is called the bow of the cymbal. And that's where you'll play a lot of your notes, okay, on the bow of the cymbal. The edge of the cymbal is right here. And this is where a lot of times you can like crash your cymbals with the edge of the cymbal. Okay, and then the third part of the cymbal is the bell. Okay, so just really quick review. You have kick drum, snare drum, floor tom, rack tom, hi-hat, which you control with the foot, ride cymbal, and crash. All right, so now that I've kind of explained that, I'm just going to show you how to play a very basic drum beat. So we're going to start with a basic eighth note rock beat, okay? If you can get this beat down, you're going to be able to play a lot of the songs you hear on the radio, like your pop songs, your rock songs. They're all kind of based around this beat. It's super, super simple, and it just works really well. It's very effective. So we're only going to be using our hands today. We're not going to use the kick drum or the toms. We're only going to use the hi-hat and the snare drum, okay? So I'm going to put the mic over here. Alrighty, so what you want to do is get into your regular playing position. So remember we talked about how to hold the sticks a third of the way up, wrap your fingers around, not too tight, but not too loose, okay? And you want your palms to be facing down, okay? Now at this point, you're just going to put your dominant hand over onto the hi-hat, okay? And your left hand is going to be underneath on the snare, all right? Now what you're going to do to make your the foundation of your basic rock beat, okay? I'm not talking about the kick drum yet at all. We're going to get into that next time and talk about how to use the kick drum. But just talking about your hands, you're going to keep the hi-hat closed. So when you hit it, it should have a short sound, okay? Now remember those eighth notes we talked about last time, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. You're going to play eighth notes on the hi-hat, okay? So just nice and easy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then you're going to put, every time you say 2 and every time you say 4, you're going to hit the snare. Okay, so just play nice and soft so you can hear me counting, but you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1. And again, remember your quarter note, the 1, 2, 3, 4, your hi-hat should go double that speed. We're doing 2 hits per beat, eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And our snare hits on 2 and 4. That's what we call the backbeat, okay? That's normally like if you're listening to a song where you want to just like it's where you want to just like clap along to the beat, okay? That's where you're going to hit your snare. So, let me just do that for you a couple more times. If you want to play along with me, feel free to do that. But this is kind of the beat to work on this time. And I'll just play it at a couple different tempos, okay? Just the hands. Dominant hand on the hi-hat, weak hand on the snare, and yeah, eighth notes, 2 and 4. So here we go. Okay, so that is gonna, oh yeah, that's gonna do it for our video. I keep saying that I'm gonna try and keep these 10 minutes long, and it keeps being like 11 minutes or 12 minutes. So I'm trying to get it a little bit faster, but thank you guys so much for checking out this video. That is gonna do it for episode 3. So be working on that basic beat, and remember the names of the drums: kick, snare, floor tom, rack tom, hi-hat, ride cymbal, and crash. Okay, thank you guys so much. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Share this video with someone, comment, and hit that like button. Thank you guys so much, and I'll catch you in the next one.